Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only and legendary real estate agent, real estate broker, investor, and just all around good person, Beth Traverso. How you doing, Beth?
I'm doing great, Mike. Thanks so much for having me back.
Absolutely. Look forward to this series. People have loved your additions, so thank you, thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
that's so cool.
Uh,
Love that.
let's talk about first-time home buyers, right? You've been working in the real estate market for for over 20 years.
Yep.
You've helped hundreds, if not more, first-time home buyers. So I thought I would ask you, do you got some do's and don'ts for first time home buyers that maybe we can put out there?
Absolutely, I do. I do. Yeah. So for one thing I would say is that so I know we talked to a lot of investors here mostly, right? But then also like first time home buyers are out there too, or people that want to do both. And one thing I want to mention is almost every investor I know, they start with an owner occupied purchase.
Me too.
That's kind of logical, right? Like, so you start there with your owner occupied purchase. And then, but if you're doing that, look for something that maybe could work as a rental down the road. Now, if you're just a first time home buyer who just wants to get your foot in the door and get started, I would say, look for something that's going to be marketable in the future, because for a lot of people, this is not your forever home.
Hmm.
And that is another thing I would say is don't over emphasize HGTV and that effect of people expecting everything to be all beautiful quartz and everything stainless steel done, like that is don't set your first time homes don't need to be your first house doesn't have to have all of that. So in my first home, my criteria was so low. I just wanted it to kind of look like a house. That was all. I mean,
Just be a
I
house,
saw
please.
I saw some that looked like I saw one that looked like a shed, and I was like, I don't think I want to live in a
Yeah,
shed.
that's
But I
too
mean, I
low.
might if I had to live in the shed I might have done it. But I'm like, this is good. It has it looks like a house. So other than that, it literally needed every single thing, and I
Mm,
worked on every square inch of that house over time. But it doesn't have to be great. Just take pride in the fact that it's yours and you can chip away at it, you know, make sure it's habitable. So I would say get your plan in order first. A lot of people put the cart before the horse and they start going out there looking at houses, and that's the exciting fun part.
hmm.
But it really is important, I think, to get your pre-approval, get your financing, get your plan in order. Like, how am I going to do this? Think it through.
Hmm.
Sometimes it involves getting a co-signer. So I would say do look at things like co-signing. We've talked a lot about house hacking. Like, I think that should be definitely a part. So that's another thing. Like, I wanted my house to look like a house, and I also wanted to have a basement or something that could turn into a house hacking
Yep.
opportunity. We didn't call it that back then, but yeah.
You had a roommate.
So just like a way to have somebody offset that,
Hmm.
because the mortgage was a little bit more than I was paying in rent. And in my area, that's always been the case since way back, still is. Another thing I would say is focus on the fact that you're going to be paying rent if you don't own a house. Rent's going to continue going up and up and up. I think that's going to continue just skyrocketing in the years to come. With a mortgage, it might be a little bit more to bite off in the beginning, but it's yours. You get principal pay down, you're gaining appreciation, other things are happening, advantages that you don't get when you're renting. So
Yeah,
keep
the
all
the
that in mind.
yeah,
Yeah.
what I think it's really great advice, right? Go sit down with the mortgage broker and figure out, A, do you qualify? B, figure out where the max is. And let's just say the max is $2,500 a month. I want to be very clear. Don't stretch. If 2,500 is the max yes answer, try to get in for 20 or 2,000 or 2,100. Don't, I have seen too many first time home buyers go, okay, great. We got approved for 2,500. Let's go spend it all.
No.
No, you're so close to the edge. It's not worth it. I mean, sometimes you have to do it, but
Yeah, don't go beyond your comfort zone. Or if you do, bring in more people to help you with the house hacking,
yes.
at the most, but really, like, usually people are approved for more than they want to spend.
Hmm.
And I saw that too when I talked to mortgage people, like, oh, we can approve you for X amount. It's like, whoa, I would never want to pay that on a
Yeah. Whoa.
mortgage.
What are you
No,
kidding?
never, So it's like, know your own limits. Don't rely on the loan officer to tell you your limits. It's up to you to know your budget and your comfort zone and make your plan. Make sure you got some reserves too, because
Yeah,
things are going to
absolutely.
break and there's no landlord to fix it. It's going to
Yeah.
be for you
Oh,
to do.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
yours. There
Mhm.
are owning a home is expensive, right? Stuff breaks. Stuff
Yeah.
breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But another thing I want to mention too is like the median net worth of a renter versus a
Yeah.
homeowner. The difference is 40 times.
Yeah.
So for a renter, it's about 6,300. This was in 2020. And for a homeowner is 255,000.
Yeah.
So another thing I would say I do is like keep in mind, like when people are buying the other, house, the more expensive houses in an area, people often ask me, like, who's buying these houses at these higher prices? Is people who are rolling over equity from their previous home. So they're
Mhm.
not necessarily even paying any more per month. They're just rolling it over into something else. So
Yeah.
it gives you an asset that you can use later. And if you let's say most people don't live in their house for 30 years, let's say you did and you keep it for retirement, you have something paid off, it's more stable. So lots of reasons to get your foot in the door and be a homeowner. Another thing I would say is that for lots of first time home buyers, a lot of them get a little too focused on their first choice areas.
Mm.
So like say like I want to live in these prime areas. And some but the numbers don't work. So where they just sit on the sideline sometimes, like, oh, it's too expensive in that area. But if you go out a little bit, stretch a little bit, you often can find good homes in an area that might not be your top choice, but there's still good areas to own.
Mhm.
So I would definitely encourage people to look into options like that.
Yeah, and the other thing I would tell you, if you were in the market to be buying your home in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, realize you got to watch your credit. I've seen too many people, for whatever reason, right? They get into the process, they get an escrow, then they go buy a new car, and it just messes with their debt to income. It's
That can
just,
kill the deal doing that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
do not go buy furniture or
nothing,
anything. Don't
anything.
touch your credit.
Don't
Credit
touch it.
cards, don't take out any loans, that's part of getting your plan in order, like understand the do's and don'ts. Check your credit. Sometimes people don't realize there's some old unpaid parking ticket on there that's messing things up from years ago. So
What do you think about adjustable rate mortgages?
I'm not a fan,
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
Me neither.
I'm seeing people doing it, but the only thing I would say is like if you can calculate the maximum interest, they'll tell you in the what the maximum is, and if you could afford that comfortably, maybe. But that's my only maybe on that. I definitely like if I would
Yeah.
always do a 30-year fix. I've never done an adjustable. Well, no. I did once and I
Yeah.
regretted it.
Yeah. Yeah. You did it once,
Remember
never
that
again.
story? No, we
No,
won't go
I
back
do.
into that. But yeah, I
Yeah.
did once, never do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of my experience, right?
Hmm.
And again, so I'm definitely a 30-year fixed always. I hear mortgage brokers all the time. Well, what about this situation? That's like, okay, great. If you're a freaking dentist or a tech worker and you have some big liquidity event in the future, fine. But let's just talk to most people.
Most people
Most
don't.
most
Yeah.
people don't have that.
We only know what it is right now, and so and there's this other thing going around too of like there's this thing meme or whatever you want to call it, like the marry the house, date the rate. I don't know if you've
Yeah,
heard
I
that.
heard that. Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, we don't know for sure what the rates are going to do in the future. So you got to make sure don't put yourself in a bad position where you're overextended now just because you're
No.
hoping you can refi later.
Yeah.
That
It's a cute
can
meme.
work,
I don't
but
know.
it's
Yeah.
catchy, but it can work, but I don't know. I'm somebody who got burned by that personally, where I thought I knew for sure what was going to happen. I had plan A, plan B, plan C all lined up. And then boom, not that that's going to happen again, but it's just like the only thing you really know is like if you get it fixed, then you know what that is and it's not going to change. So I'm only doing fixed rate.
Yeah, real estate investing or real owning a home has enough risk involved. I do not want rate risk. There
Mm-mm.
was a decade, everybody, where interest rates went higher every year. It has happened before,
Yeah.
right? Just because we had 40 years of rates going down doesn't mean that's the only thing that happens, right? So, you're,
Yeah. Another okay. Go
yeah,
on.
please.
Okay, so
Yeah, please.
another thing I would say is like be ready to make some sacrifices. It might be a downgrade for a little while to go from an apartment into
Oh,
your own
yeah.
home.
Yeah.
And it's going to require things you're going to be paying money for maybe some tile or appliances or things that you're going to be needing in the home instead of going out and having fun or whatever it is you might prefer to do with that money. But just know, keep your eye on the future goal. Anything with real estate involves a long-term horizon, so just think about that. And I think most people find that they will get a sense of pride for just knowing it's theirs, and even if it's not all done and pretty and sparkly, just the fact that you own something and you're making a sacrifice for your future self
Hmm.
um is reward in itself.
Yeah. I love all of this. And if somebody's looking to buy their first home or buy or sell in your market, Beth, how do you want them to reach out?
They can reach out to me through my website, bethtraversogroup.com. And I'm also on Facebook and easy to find there.
Awesome. Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.